Who were some of your other buddies at Elm Street?
The big homie, Bartender, rest in peace. My homie Sonny Lee, rest in peace. High Top, Lil Ricky, my ace. Mike Loke, he got killed by the Southside in 95.
Tell me about that. What happened?
95, gas station, he got shot in the head twice. About some youngsters from Southside. Right after that, they got arrested. Right after that, I got arrested on Glencoe. I had a shootout with Baby Lane on Glencoe. So I got arrested on Glencoe. I did maybe 2 years. Nobody came to court because at that time it was a court of honor. Nobody said nothing, and I got out. And while I was locked up, my homies was going back and forth with him, and that was it. And that year died out, and it started back up with the death row thing. But I was in jail the whole time for that, though.
So tell me the whole story about getting into a shootout with Baby Lane. Like, go back to the beginning of that. Like, what's led to that, and just give me as much info on that as you have, because that's fascinating.
Okay, but that was in retaliation of my homeboy getting killed at the gas station. You know, I have black and white. I got arrested. I never knew that they had a park right there in Glencoe. I found out later on because I drove down the street and I ran through that park, and that's where I had a shootout with David Lane right there in the middle of the park.
Wow, and it was South Park?
Yeah, South Park. Yes, sir. He got the death study because I had like a handgun and he had like a AK or something like that, and I got the hell up out of there, and I got arrested. I sure did. I was thinking survival saved myself, and I almost ran into the arms of the police, with the gun in my hand. I was that scared because I didn't know that he had that big of a gun. I didn't know them at that time carried those type of weapons. This was in the 90s, it's 95 we're talking about.
Yeah, well, you're outgunned by a high-powered rifle, and you just have a handgun. You don't have much of a chance. So he was just hanging out in the park,
He,
and he
he,
saw
he,
you running through?
well, he was driving by, and he seen me driving by, and he knew who I was, and he immediately engaged me, and I immediately engaged him, and I got out and I ran. He killed the car. If I was the car, I would have been dead. He killed the car, and to where the car just stopped running, and that's what made me get out and run because he shot the car up so much the engine stopped working, and I had to get out and run.
I mean, what was Orlando Anderson's reputation?
Uh, Got in mind, a hothead, like what they call me in court, a hood enforcer. You protect the hood at all costs. If you come to our area, you rival, we protected our hood at all costs. And even if it costs us our life, which it cost him his life at the car wash right there in the back of Compton High.
What did you ever hear about that? I did an episode of I have a docu series I do on my channel. I did a whole episode on that shootout at Rob's car wash.
But what I do know, the rival gang is in front of Compton High, and I do know that Compton High is owned by the rival gang. So if they even in that vicinity, they're gonna catch that rival gang, which is Westside Palmer Block.
And what do you remember? Rob's car wash was kind of famous in the area, wasn't it?
It was back in the day. It was somewhere that I could not go, that I will always drive past there, and I will always see rivals out there. But I would not be over there to do no shooting. I would be over there like next to the female or whatever, because I went to Enterprise. I went to Enterprise Middle School right there, so I'm kind of familiar with that area.
And why couldn't you go to the car wash?
I couldn't go to the car wash because all those my rival gangs, all I beat with all Compton Crips.
So it was a Crip hangout.
Yeah, that would be like the car wash. The Untouchables right there in the mob over there. It'd be like that. It'd be like that car wash. They
Right.
couldn't go over there. We couldn't go to theirs. They couldn't come to ours. It was just a all-moving rule.
What did you think when you found out that Orlando Anderson had been killed?
First, I thought about the Tupac situation. I thought about the Biggie situation, and it was just like just automatic. But that wasn't the case because in that area where he was at, there was no death row, no bad boy involvement. Because if it was bad boy involvement, they would have protected him. And if it was death row, they would have tried to make a statement you know what I mean, make a better statement than just a shootout, you know?
Interesting.
Because because you have able to probably he deserves more than just a shootout. Would get more than just a shootout.
I got you. If it had been Death
And-
Row getting retaliation against him,
Right, right, right. It was way more shootout. A shootout. That's a cakewalk.
coming from the perspective, you're incarcerated. What do you think is, if Keffe D gets convicted for Tupac's murder, do you think he's going to have any issues in prison?
I don't think he's gonna have any issues with prison because that situation is so far gone and died out. If anything, they just thought, okay, that's the dude that killed Tupac. Okay, bam, that'd be it. It wouldn't be nothing else to it.